What's up, everybody? Jared here with CarBuzz.com, bringing you a full walk around, everything that you need to know about the 2022 GMC Hummer pickup EV. So this is a brand new vehicle from the GMC brand. Obviously, you're familiar with the Hummer brand. They started with the H1 and then they moved on to SUVs like the H2 and H3. Now they are back in two very different ways. One, because they are being sold under the GMC brand. The other, that every Hummer is now all electric. There is no gas guzzling V8 under the hood of this vehicle, and that is going to make this very different from any previous Hummer that we have ever seen. The one that I am driving is the first edition, edition 1. These are all sold out, so unfortunately you won't be able to buy one of these, but you will be able to buy one that is broadly similar. And you might be able to tell that the one I am showing you right now has a bunch of accessory options that are really cool. So let's get down into it. I will have a full review of the Hummer EV later on. This is just a walk around. I'm not going to be able to drive it in this video because drive impressions are sadly embargoed, even though some other YouTube channels already got their hands on one of these and did a review on it. I apologize for that. So we're gonna start off with the front end styling because wow, this thing looks really cool. I'm loving this big light bar across the side. They were actually telling me about these lights. They have these unique fibers where the light only like lights up on the part where the fiber is, and then they cut out the lettering. It just looks awesome. And then when you're charging it, the lights on the side here will actually like light up as like an indicator for your charge percentage. That is super cool. Again, I already showed you the GMC logo there. We also have our tow hitches, tow hooks. These were always a big Hummer icon. We do have lots of underbody skid plating that come as part of an off-road package. We have lots of black accenting here as well. We've got our fog lights. These are 35-inch Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires, going to get you a lot of ground clearance, and of course this rides on air suspension so it can lift up as well. These are the bronze wheels. These are an accessory option, 18 inches. You can get these in like a dark gray, blackish as well, and they are going to offer a 22-inch wheel if that is more your style. Now moving down here, we have the HEV logo here, and this is of course bronze. That's all part of like a bronze package here. We've got our running board, not power retractable, just kind of a big meaty running board right here. We've got our big mirrors. You've got cameras all over this car. So this thing has many cameras that you can play around with that are very useful while you're off-roading. It gives it like a very easy to see around type of vibe. I mentioned the accessory options. We've got some lights up here. You can pull the caps off of them. You can even move these in different directions. We've got a light bar up on the top as well. And we also have this lunar graphic. So this is supposed to be the surface of the moon, and we're gonna see some elements of that on the interior as well. So 4-door only. We have a removable roof option, which I'll show you a little bit when we get inside it as well. We've got a 5-foot bed, which is bigger than Hummer trucks of the past. I know the H2 SUT was a little bit smaller than that. I think the H3 SUT might have been similar to that. And then obviously this one has some accessories. We've got this big, I think that's a tent up there. We've got these racks as well. And then we do have our spare tires in here taking up most of the bed, as you can see. We do have GMC's multi-pro tailgate here as well. So if I go ahead and push this small button, you can just open up this portion of the tailgate. It functions very similarly to how this tailgate has functioned in the past. You can then flip this part up if it will open, and see now you have like a little bump stop. And then of course the bed does open normally as well if you just hit this big button. Now the whole bed is going to drop down as well, and then you can drop that little piece to get closer access to what's in the bed. You can plug some things in here. We have like an AC outlet in there. Of course, it'll run off of the main car's battery. And then we do have over there that window between the bed and the cab that does slide down as well. I think this is such a good looking truck, although it is massive. It weighs over 9,000 pounds. The battery is like 2,800 of that. So yeah, this is a big, very heavy vehicle. So the price on this guy, it's gonna start at about $80,000 for a base Hummer EV, but this edition one that you're seeing is like 115. So it's a very expensive truck. So let's see whether or not it feels that nice on the inside. So we've got kind of this like rugged material. I don't even know how else to describe this material. It's just kind of scratchy, like it's kind of rough to the feet, to the touch. And then we do have some general hard plastics that you would expect to get in a GM truck, mixed with some cool metals and things like that. But there is a little bit more hard plastic than maybe I think you'd want to see at this price range. I mentioned the lunar theme. You see it on the Bose speaker grills right here. That is actually supposed to be the boot print of the first man that walked on the moon, Neil Armstrong. And then you have a little bit there on the floor mats as well. We've got these leather seats. So you have Hummer EV in bronze written on here. You have a white portion as well. This is how all of the edition ones are going to come. You do have heated and ventilated seats. This leather actually feels quite nice. And then we have more of that kind of rough, not really sure what this material is here on the edges as well. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in so we can shut off that gosh darn beeping, because I know it's probably getting annoying at this point. We have a very similar steering wheel that we're going to see on other GM vehicles, so nothing too crazy there. We do have an on-demand brake regen paddle over there. Nothing over here, although there are some buttons on the back. I'm assuming those are for your radio. We do have an all-digital gauge cluster here. I'm assuming that you can switch up what it says. There's the FM radio. So yeah, you can change up what's on this side, so you can have your map, you can have other information, radio, trip, you have a G-force meter over there, you have your speed and your battery percentage also there. We've got this big, massive screen. This thing looks pretty great. So we have our little tiles over here. You get your Google Assistant, you get Google Maps as well, so that is super easy to use. Wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I love the Google Maps integration here. This is really cool. You again have some like lunar terrain there, just, you know, really playing into that lunar terrain theme. We've got a split screen that we can pull up here, so you can have your trailer, you can have your FM radio, you can have some off-road gauges and things like that here. They actually told me that there are a couple Easter eggs in here. You can see right there, there's that little boot again. There is somewhere on the auxiliary switches here. I'm hoping I can find it for you in this video. They didn't show me exactly where it was, but there is a little Easter egg. They kind of take a small dig at the Cybertruck, they told me. There's like a little icon where this is like kind of driving up over the Cybertruck. So I kind of want to see if I could find that for you real quick. There we go. So auxiliary. So it's got to be here. So let me see if I hit program here. Let's see. And then I program aux5. Oh, maybe not. I was thinking it would be right here. I'm pretty sure it's got to be in here somewhere. But yeah, I heard that there was a way. All right, let's abandon that for now, unfortunately. But just so you know, there is one little subtle dig at the Cybertruck in here. We've got some controls down here, heated steering wheel. These are for your diff locks. Now, this doesn't have mechanical locking diffs because it's all electric and it wouldn't really work like that. But they do basically have a way to electronically lock it, which is quite cool. This is your traction control off. That's how you're going to activate the Watts to Freedom. It's their launch control mode. Yeah, it's actually called Watts to Freedom. And then you have different parking sensors here. And then you have your climate controls. These buttons actually feel quite nice, even though they're plastic. They are just riveted really nicely. I do kind of like the rugged sort of metallic feel. And of course, we do get a volume knob, which is quite nice as well. I do like that. We have our mirror here that you can flip into camera mode, which is nice in a big vehicle like this. What else? We've got, I like this dashboard setup. This looks very nice, although it is plastic. I'm just saying, like, it is nice looking plastic, but not exactly the most expensive materials that I've seen. Here in the dashboard, I'll show you this. We've got one of these big electronic shifters. We've got our wireless charging pad. You can go ahead and cover that up if you want. Cup holders are right here. We've got our little phone slot here. We've got what is a pretty deep glove box, and then this one has like a lockable chest in it. I'm assuming that's part of the accessory package. We've got our mode selector here with a little bit of bronze. This is how you can activate crab mode. You can activate the different ride heights, so you can raise up that air suspension that I was talking about. And then this button doesn't actually do anything. It says your mode, your mission, and then it gives you an email address because GMC actually wants people to email them and tell them what you want that mode to do. So in the comment section, let me know, what do you think that mode button should do? Because honestly, I told them they should deactivate the front axle and make it like a burnout mode. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. We've got miles per hour view release up here. I'm not really sure what that's for, but we do have our sky panels here. So as you can see, these are like a plexi. So that's going to be a little bit lighter to take off. They're very easy to remove. You just have one lever here, and then you have another lever on this side, and then the roof panels will just pop up. And I'll show you, there is a way that you can actually put them under the front storage area a little bit later. And I guess I could show you a little bit about the camera. So let me go ahead and put it in reverse, and that should pull it up. You can see we have tons of camera views on this car. These little dots indicate that there's like multiple views to each. So there's like a different reverse camera, there's like a bed down, there's like a hood down, there's actually like ones on the back of the mirror so you can see the wheels articulating in the back, because this car does have 4-wheel steering. Loving the camera systems. These are super useful and will definitely come in handy when you're doing off-roading. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat. We do have memory seats. I mentioned that there's Bose audio in here as well. We've got our little Hummer EV etched into the door here. These are pillarless doors, by the way, which is really cool. You don't really see that on a pickup truck too often. Pillarless in the back as well. You can see we have a pretty decent amount of legroom, of course, because this is a very long vehicle. I'm not sure what this is. This is, what do we got here? Is this a speaker? Fuse? Oh, this might be an inflator? I'm not even sure. This is part of the accessories I think that they have in here. Of course, like most pickup trucks, you can lift up the storage and then the seats, and you can get a little bit of storage under there as well. That goes right down. You also have, just like some other GMC models, some hidden storage in the seats as well. And then I mentioned this rear glass actually slides down, and then the panels back here are removable as well. It operates kind of like a T-top, where that middle section does not come out. In the front, you can actually remove that front section as well if you don't want it to just be a T-top. I'll show you the legroom because it is very generous. We have plenty of it here. We've also got our own climate controls, heated seat, and there is like a little Easter egg of the Hummer grill in there as well. So I've already showed you the bed. Let me go ahead and show you the frunk, of which there is one on the Hummer EV. There is an exterior release. There's just a little button for it right here. Just push it once and it is completely powered. And now you'll see there's a lot of room up here. I mean, because obviously there's no engine. And then these are your little pad. This is actually different from what they showed me on some of the other vehicles that they have out here. They had these like stackers that I think were even a little bit better than these leather bags, but you can fit all 4 of those panels in here, which is quite cool. It is a very usable amount of space. So that was the 2022 GMC Hummer EV. You'll probably start to see some of these out on the road this year in 2022, although there are all gonna be those Edition 1 models. So there's gonna be different versions that you can get. There's another tri-motor version. So this one has like the full 1,000 horsepower. There's gonna be like an 825 horsepower version. And then the base model has only 2 motors, but it's still 625 horsepower. But those aren't coming until like 2024, so you are going to be waiting quite a while for these. But are you excited to see the new 2022 GMC Hummer out on the road? Or would you get something that's already available like the Rivian R1T? Or would you wait on that Tesla Cybertruck, which we have no idea when that's actually coming? I think, listen, this is out on the road now. It looks really cool. It has a pretty cool interior. That price is pretty hefty, as is the weight and the battery. It's got a 212 kilowatt hour battery, so you can get over 300 miles in one of these, but it will take quite a while to charge. And I will explain that all to you a little bit more in my full review, which will go up later. Be sure to check out carbuzz.com for more information about that. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos. I'll see you next time.